Hello, BookTube. I have some mail for you, and it's suspicious mail because it's 3 boxes, and I believe that not one, not two, but all 3 boxes are violations of rule number 1. Rule number 1 on this channel is don't send Steve books. Don't do it. I have plenty of books. I have books coming out in my ears. I don't need you to go to the bother and expense, and now, thanks to COVID, risk of sending me more books. It's the definition of Coles to Newcastle. And yet, I have 3 boxes here that virtually radiate scofflaws. So let's take a look at the first one. First one is this narrow thing. Yeah, see, it is taped a million rounds of tape. Only normal civilians do that. Oh, oh, I know who this is from. Yes, okay. All right, this is indeed from one of you, but it is technically not a violation of rule number 1. Yes. As the sender announces, they are not breaking rule number 1 because these are Oreo Most Stuff cookies. That is the size of the stuffing. You get twice as much stuffing in Most Stuff cookies as you get even in Mega Stuff cookies. And they, I guess, only come in these sleeves. I think I once saw them in a broader package, but usually people have reported seeing them in little sleeves like this. Well, that is very, very nice. Thank you very much. It has achieved the bean's attention. She is for some reason being a little pettish. She's not up on her shelf. Do you want to go up on your pillow so your fans can see you? No? No, baby? No? I can still see you. You're right there. But you're not on display. You're not on your shelf. No. No, she's just right next to me. All right. Well, anyway, okay, that's very nice. That is not a violation of rule number 1. That is very nice. I will email the sender and thank them in person. Well, these next 2 boxes, there's no chance. These next 2 boxes are certainly violations of rule number 1. If this entire mail haul is Most Stuff Oreos, I'm going to be one happy camper. But I have a feeling that's not true. I have a feeling that when I break into this thing, it's going to be worse. Breaking into is not easy, but I have lots of experience. What have we got here? Yes, indeed. These are books. So what have we got here? And the sender, oh my, oh how fancy schmancy. The sender has sent a letter sealed with wax. Goodness gracious. The last time I got a letter sealed with wax, it was from Alexander Pushkin challenging me to duel at dawn over dead. Oh my, okay, well, at least the person admits it, so what have we got here? Okay, we have 2 Lynn Carter novels. The Invisible Death, look at these great covers. Invisible Death and the Nemesis of Evil. And these are the greatest action hero of them all. Can he defeat the Grim Reaper? Zarkon, Lord of the Underworld, and his Omega crew. Okay, is Zarkon the greatest action hero of all time, or is he the villain? Dead men, one after another, rich, famous, powerful, and all defenseless against the invisible occult force that struck them down and left no trace of its satanic identity and devilish design. The police were powerful. The governments of the world were struck with fear and trembling. Only Prince Zarkon, the ultimate man, and his devoted Omega crew could hope to stem the bloody flood of terror about to engulf all mankind. But even the great Zarkon and his miracle men might have met their match as the defenders of good moved into shattering showdown with the eerie empire of awesome evil. Okay, so the first Zarkon book is Nemesis of Evil, number 1. They come numbered on Invisible Death. More action than Doc Savage. Well, I was hoping you would mention Doc Savage, since you want to nod to the thing you're blatantly ripping off. More adventure than the Avenger. Introducing Zarkon, Lord of the Unknown, and his Omega crew. Oh Okay, who is Prince Zarkon? His fiendish foes would do anything to learn the identity of this figure who foils their most diabolical schemes. His friends would like to know who this man is who saves them when all other earthly powers fail. But Zarkon remains a mystery even to his devoted Omega crew as they follow him to the ends of the earth, battling the forces of darkness. Okay, well, this gives you a very strong impression of something that I have said often about Lynn Carter that bears repeating, is that this is a terrible author. But no doubt these are going to be a lot of fun. And then this next one is by Lawrence Alexander, and it's called Speak Softly. It's a Theodore Roosevelt mystery. It's a mystery starring Theodore Roosevelt, set in 1895. Theodore Roosevelt, future governor of New York State, Rough Rider in the Spanish-American War, and 26th President of the United States, has been police commissioner of the City of New York, president of the police department's board, 7 months, 9 days. Readers of the city's 28 dailies, yellow and otherwise, could hardly wait to find out what was going to happen next. When The Big Stick, Lawrence Alexander's first Theodore Roosevelt mystery, debuted in 1986, Alfred Hitchcock magazine praised it as, quote, a lot of fun and a jolly good idea. Now, in this newest installment, we return once again to the gay 90s New York to meet up with our super sleuth hero, TR. This time out, Teddy's called in to investigate a series of signature murders linked to organized crime and narcotics smuggling. A colorful case that turns into an intriguing but deadly family affair. Okay. All right. Well, amazingly, I have never read this, so I will certainly give Speak Softly a try. And then we have this second box, and it is also going to be books. There's no doubt about it. No doubt in my mind. It's the same perpetrator who's clearly going to need a penance for this. What have we here? Okay, this next one is 2 hardcovers. And do we have another fancy? We do. We have another fancy waxed envelope. Ooh. Oh my. Heavy duty paper with wax seals. How lovely. So what have we got here? We have a brochure and 2 hardcover books. The brochure is one of these tourist pamphlets, this time for Leeds Castle. One time when I was at the Book Barn in Niantic, Connecticut, I went downstairs to the subterranean room where they have all the history. And one time when I went there, this was probably 15 years ago, they had a box with just 30 of these things for all kinds of different locations. Someone had obviously collected them in the UK and then just dumped them here. This is for Leeds Castle. I know everything there is to know about Leeds Castle. This will be a lot of fun to read. I've been to Leeds Castle many, many, many times. I know its history intimately. But this is going to be great because it's all full. This is the sort of thing you would get for £2 at the gift shop. Great though, fantastic. Because although when I saw that box at the Book Barn, I got almost all of them. I bought probably 10 or 20 of them, but I didn't keep them. So this will be the only one that I have. And then what are the books? Okay, all right. The first one is the autobiography of Calvin Coolidge, with the end papers there showing Ye Old Homestead. This featured prominently in what's his name? Joshua Feldman's book, Author-in-Chief. He did a fantastic book about the books that U.S. presidents have written of all kinds. And Coolidge, the bits on Coolidge were just wonderful. And it made me hanker to read the book, which I'm sure is in the public domain. I'm sure that I could get an e-copy of this. But this is fantastic. Just great. There's Colonel John Coolidge, our hero's father, when he was in the Vermont Senate. Why is it that all elected Vermonters end up looking like that? And then what's the next one? Oh, how lovely. Oh, my. Okay, well, this would have been a buy at the Brattle, definitely. This is This Rough Magic by Mary Stewart. There is our author, who's really in need of a big 800-page biography and really in need of a bit of rediscovery. Her fans out there know her Arthurian books, the 4 Arthurian books, but hardly anybody I know reads anything else, and that's a shame. And This Rough Magic, what have we got here? This is lovely. Look at that with the dust jacket. That is great. When Lucy Waring came to Corfu to visit her sister Phillida Forley, she was elated to discover that the castello above their villa had been rented to Sir Julian Gale. A very minor cog in the London theatre, Lucy was not unnaturally felt something close to reverence for Sir Julian, one of the brilliant lights of England's theatrical world. But any hope of meeting him was quickly dashed by Phil, who indicated with uncharacteristic vagueness that not all was well with the great man, and that his composer's son Max discouraged visitors, particularly strangers. Lucy encountered Max Gale the first morning of her arrival, and a tempestuous meeting it was, for Lucy had made friends with an enchanting dolphin, by whom she had first been thoroughly frightened and then completely captivated. It was when she was sunning on the rocks above the cove that the shots came, and the only person in view was Max Gale. Thus begins a series of mystifying and thoroughly frightening events which tinge the otherwise sparkling setting of Corfu with dark hues of violets. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. And of course, when I hear Corfu, I immediately think of the old Hepburn and Tracy romantic comedy desk set. It's a total Hepburn and Tracy wonk type thing, but there's a moment in that movie that comes down to the word Corfu. I know the whole movie. I know every inch of dialogue. I know the whole, every scene by scene, moment by moment, and that is wonderful. When the computer is helpless, when somebody needs information on Corfu, the ladies of the reference department will save the day. Oh, this is great. This is a Mary Stewart book that I either never have read or haven't read in forever. When did this come out? 1950s? 1964. So I'll know in the first chapter whether or not I've read it, but that's fantastic. I'm glad to have it. So there you go. That is the mail. We got just malefactor mail. That's what this is. We got the autobiography of Calvin Coolidge. We got This Rough Magic by Mary Stewart, a brochure to Leeds Castle, Speak Softly, in which the investigator is Theodore Roosevelt, and 2 Lynn Carter novels starring Zarkon the Mysterious. Fantastic. Plus some most stuff Oreos that are going to be gone in about an hour. So great. Fantastic. All right, well, I couldn't be any more pleased, even though these violate rule number 1. And the books that don't violate rule number 1, the books that we get in the mail, might still be coming. It's still, the day is young, so we might convene for a mail haul part 2. In the meantime, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.